Championship Demolition Derby here on ESPN at Riverhead Raceway in New York. This is pit row at Riverhead Raceway. It does not even closely resemble the pit row you might see at Indianapolis or Talladega, but this is the pit row for Demolition Derby. Hello, everybody. I'm Leandra Reilly, and joining me in this telecast is the Riverhead Raceway track announcer, Bob Finan. And, Bob, not only does pit row not resemble Indianapolis, but the philosophy here doesn't either.
No, the fans are going for a treat today. They're going to see something quite different. Demolition Derby, basically, the cars are going to line up with the front end of the automobile to the wall. The starter will throw the green flag, and then they'll smash and crash their way until we have one last survivor, and he will win the World Demolition Derby Championship.
All right, so it's not how fast or how far you go, but how long you survive. And right now, our cars are preparing to compete in this Demolition Derby. Marty Reid has that story.
Thanks, Leandra. You know, in any form of auto racing, you've got to prepare the car before it goes out on the track, but in Demolition Derby, it's a little bit different. Instead of getting them set up, they're tearing them apart. Every single window has to come out of the car, all the extraneous metal, all the mirrors, everything. As you can see, it's a pretty hectic process.
Thank you, Marty Reid. And, Bob, there is a method to this madness. It isn't just mayhem and confusion out there.
Well, believe it or not, Leandra, there is a strategy to Demolition Derby. What the guys try to do is they'll all run in reverse. You'll notice that. And the thing they try to hit on the other automobile the most is the radiator. That's the nerve center of a Demolition Derby car. You knock out the radiator, it's going to lose the water, and later on, maybe minutes, the car's motor will seize. You've eliminated a car, you continue yourself, and that's how the process of elimination is in a Demolition Derby.
So there is a method to your madness, and Bob Finan will be calling on you for more of your expertise in this demolition massacre. But our cars, they're ready now to come onto the track, so let's start racing.
And the first order of business this afternoon will be run 3 qualifying events for the World Demolition Derby Championship feature event. Top 3 automobiles via a winner, a judge's choice, and a fan's choice will work their way into the World Demolition Derby final.
We have 28 cars in this first heat, and it's a survival of the fittest. They'll keep smashing and crashing until we have 1 car left. And our first car has shifted to reverse, and off they go. And they don't have to start backwards like that, but that is the style of Demolition Derby because, as you said, you're trying to protect the radiator.
Absolutely. You don't want to go out too early in this, so they all line up with the front end of their automobiles facing the red and white wall here at Riverhead. A lot of early action will find drivers jockeying for position in the Demolition Derby, trying to feel their way around the track, and of course trying to keep their front end of their automobiles safe so they can continue on.
And already we can see there are a lot of casualties. This is like a 3-ring circus. There's action going on all sides of the track.
Well, you try to keep your eyes peeled for all the action that may or may not happen in front of you, and of course your ears will pick up the rest, and you'll have the tendency to turn your head at any Demolition Derby, at any racetrack or county fair that it's being held at.
We just saw Mr. Ed Olin in his white station wagon. Now, there's a lot of station wagons out there. Why are they so popular?
Well, like we said at the top of the show, and just a few minutes ago, you always try to go backwards and hit the other opponent with the back end of your automobile. Now, with a station wagon, you obviously have more of a back end to your automobile. Gives you more battering ram power, if you will, instead of horsepower.
All right, but ambulances and hearses are not allowed because they really have back end power.
Yeah, they do, and it would be very fitting to have them here, but you can't.
A hearse derby, I think I like that.
Could be an idea for a promoter somewhere in the country to try out. Mr. Ed Olin taking a shot there from Ed Minder, car number 88.
Don Cordell in the 155 station wagon. He looks relatively untouched. He just backed into a car there.
He's taking easy. Richard Davis, car number 6, we just saw a glimpse up there.
It's amazing. You take a look at some of the damage, and the cars are still running with all the damage that they have.
Absolutely. Flat tires or even the loss of a wheel will not bother or hinder these Demolition Derby demons at all. Actually, it's right. We see Tom Tangredi, car number 008, with a little decorative roof ornament.
I like the Smurf. That's cute.
Rolling around, trying to pick out the opponents that I can hit. John Pinsanti, car number 011. Richard Davis from Massachusetts with us here today. He's the Massachusetts State Champ, car number 6.
So Heavy Metal continues to chase our Massachusetts mongrels, and the cleanup continues here at Riverhead. Stay with us. Our Demolition has dwindled down to a precious few. Still alive, Charles Brower of Oceanside, as you look at the carnage of some of the other cars that did not make it as heat number 1 continues. We have car number 1 with Rick Kraft. We have Donald Daring, and we have Ed Olin, all still alive as they try to nail the coffin on some of the cars that are still breathing, I guess.
Absolutely. Ed Olin dancing around looking for somebody to hit. He's trying to look for somebody to be hitting, but he also is looking for somebody not to hit him. Although it's down to a precious few. There's the Bulldog Brower. I think he has Ed Olin lined up.
Ed's number.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a love tap. All that fury and not much in the way of end result.
I guess a Demolition Derby is an insurance claims adjuster's nightmare.
Yeah. And the junkyard's pleasure. Don Daring, car number 12, back in the action after taking a hit from Bulldog Brower.
So now we're down to 3. It is Brower, Daring, and Olin. Mr. Ed is Olin, Bulldog is Brower, and number 12 car is Donald Daring. Remember, they have 60 seconds in which to find contact, and you're not allowed to play possum. Those cars that are parked in the infield there, they have to stay out of it now.
Although they can use them strategically to line up a good hit, just like we see there, although it's a near miss. Ed Olin and Bulldog Brower is Mr. Daring in car number 12. Fitting name, we might add, for a Demolition Derby. Not in the action at start time. It's down to 2. I think the Bulldog's going to line up. Daring, very persistent.
So these 3 cars have to circle around the track and find each other, and they still have to contact each other. There was a nice setup there. He tried to pick him off. Let's go now to Marty Reid, who's got more information in the pits.
What you're looking at is the heart and soul of a Demolition Derby car. Not the motor, but the radiator. This is the lifeblood, because if it takes a hit and gets cracked, the water, of course, leaks out, and there's nothing cooling the motor, and the engine seizes up. You also know that the real pros take out the fan. The reason is, if it does take a hit, it cuts into the radiator, and it can put you out of competition even quicker. The real pros know the secret. Take out those blades. Let's go back to the track.
Thank you, Marty Reid. Now, that's interesting. I didn't know they removed the fan blades, but that makes a lot of sense. Certainly, it would cut into the radiator, and as you said, that's the heart of a Demolition Derby automobile.
Very unusual. We just saw a front-end hit on Ed Olin by the Bulldog.
And Daring came in for the sandwich.
These 3 guys really very persistent and continuing on, although it looks like Ed Olin may be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it looks like they're double teaming him to eliminate him. Bulldog's pushing him around at will.
Interesting to note.
Daring got him. Broadside.
Oh, yeah. All 3 of these drivers, Leandra, using station wagons.
Here we go. This is it. Good night, Daring.
Ed Olin really lining him up.
Brower bumped into another car. Here we go.
Putting on finishing touches, as they say.
He's going around to get Brower. That was a good tell. Here we see the radiator going on Daring.
Telltale sign. Telltale sign right there.
And I'm not sure, but we may see Bulldog's radiator letting out a little bit of steam.
Problem here is Mr. Ed and Bulldog are hooked
They're locked.
up. Yes, the front bumper and the rear bumper of Mr. Ed's car.
And the radiator in Bulldog is steaming fast, although Mr. Ed's radiator is going too. All 3 radiators are out.
If they are not able to unhook the last car to make a hit, will be declared the winner. The track officials keeping tabs on the action. Starter Ray Mortuano has gone down to survey the situation.
And that's Mr. Ed now who made the last tap then.
I believe so.
Unless they consider Bulldog's moving forward a tap. We'll have to wait and see.
Might have been. We'll have to wait and see.
Maybe they'll jiggle loose. And he gave it to Bulldog. He said he got the last tap in. It was close. Oh, look at that. They really are hooked up.
Yeah.
All right, now remember, this is a qualifying heat. They can take this car into the final, or else they can have the track give them a car to use in the final. But our winner right now, by last contact, is Charles Brower. We'll be back with more after this.
unusual in...
Is about to begin. This time we have 30 cars against the wall, ready to smash and crash their way into the finals.
Starter Ray Marciano letting the crowd count it down from 10 backwards, and he throws the green flag as they hit one, and we'll be off and on our way to smash some more cars here at Riverhead Raceway.
I like what they did with the cars from heat number 1. They're all piled in the infield there. And I think by the time we're finished with our third heat, this is going to look like one awful used car lot.
Or the parking lot of your local supermarket on Saturday morning when everybody's vying for the good parking position. Just your usual early smashing and crashing. Car number 16, Bob Finan, a former mini-modified driver, now in Demolition Derby action. Got a good hit right there. He's prowling around looking for another victim.
You know, looking at his posture to drive, he must get a stiff neck just turning around and driving backwards. And then when you add impact to that... Oh.
Well, what you have to remember is that, you know, you ever backed into a parking spot or up a driveway, you know how you turn around, you throw your right arm along the seat. That's what these guys do, and you're right, they do take a hit, and it does, their necks are a little sore.
Yeah, because they twisted at the same time. As we once again look at Bob Finan.
Finan got an Oldsmobile station wagon, quite the heavy automobile, and that is going to work to his advantage. Ooh, but that didn't.
Tore open his rear gate. And he puts it back shut.
Good hit up here in turn number 1.
All right, now you see there's small 10-inch holes cut in the hood of a car. That's a requirement so that they can extinguish any fires that may start. The drivers are instructed after their car is dead to stay in the car until somebody's awarded the checker flag for safety reasons, unless your car is on fire. Then you're allowed to get out. Bob, you've seen quite a few of these demolition derbies. How do you train for an event like this, or do you just go to the event and learn something as you go?
I think this is one of the events that you see on television, and only experience is the training ground. There's no way you could practice this on your local streets. There's no way you could practice this at all. You just have to do it a few times. You pick up some experience, and you can go out and smash and crash with the best of them, as Jeff Boder is now doing in car number 097. He's one of the drivers that races here weekly at Riverhead in one of the regular racing divisions. Oh, and boy, did he just smash.
What a clothesline to Bob Finan.
Oh.
Oh, that's smart. That's a T-bone in reverse.
Watch it. Boder really lines him up. Watch Filan's car fold.
Oh. Look at Finan. Did he get jostled in that one?
He'll be a little sore in the morning, sure. But he is still in action right there.
They shouldn't give money. They should give aspirin for this event. Look at the back end of some of these wagons. Look how mangled they are. Ooh, a near miss.
Yes. Getting intense out there now.
Now, something television can't bring to you is the smell. These radiators, that sweet smell of antifreeze is starting to permeate the track. All right, heat number 2 is going to continue. We'll be back with more Demolition Derby here at Riverhead in a moment. 2 continues, and there aren't many people who can boast the experience of veteran Demolition Derby starter Ray Marciano. Our Marty Reid spoke with him a little earlier about starting this Demolition Derby race.
Well, there's a definite reason that all the safety precautions are taken, and it's very simple. I mean, you're trying to protect the driver.
That's a fact, so that when they get out on the track, no glass or debris flies around and hits them. Okay, that's to keep them safe. We'll start with the car. All the glass in the back is broken out. Chains are on the trunk. You remove up, and if there's chains on the doors to prevent the drivers from falling out. We have foam rubber in case of an illegal shot in the driver's door, they don't get hurt. Padded steering wheel. We have a battery in the front. We have an option to move the gas tank into the back seat, which this one does not have. Moving to the front, we have a hole cut in the hood to extinguish fires if the fire should exist. And in the front of it, the lights are out, and the chains are all chained around the door, around the hood, I'm sorry.
Other than that, this is a stock car that we could take out on the street, right?
Yes, sir. It probably had plates on it just a short while ago.
I don't think we'd want to drive it, though, looking like this down the freeway.
I think Ray brought up a good point. It probably did have plates on it. A lot of these guys got to this track literally by driving here.
Have to check the parking lot to see if your car is still there on your way out, Leandra. It could be out there.
My car's starting to look like this. It's quite a few years old. Well, as we can see, the death toll has risen for some of these vehicles. There's quite a few strewn about the infield, but there's several still alive. There I still see Canzanti. He's still wheeling along in the 88 car. And even though we see tires smoking and hood's crumpled. Like this driver can barely even see. I can even see his number. He's so twisted up. But he can barely see who to hit.
Also still involved, car number 3, Dean Chiavelli. He's still in it.
Whoa,
Santi making a hit there. See Chiavelli's car in the foreground here. There's Joe Weeks Sr.
Look at the wheel situation on this car. All right, we have a fire now. Uh-oh. Now, this fire is not in the hood and the carburetor. As you can see, it's more towards the back, so this driver's getting out.
Dangerous part here, Leandra, backed by the fuel tank.
Jeff Boda.
Yes. Safety crew on their way down. Our firemen here taking care of the situation. Another NASCAR official running over. Fire extinguishers everywhere. We use the liquid kind of fire extinguishers for the very purpose of a fuel fire, which this appears to be right now. There's Jeff Boda. He is A-OK. In fact, he's laughing a little bit.
Well, you can't take this event too seriously. It's just luck on where you get hit and how you get hit.
Leandra.
These guys are gutsy, sticking their face in there with those extinguishers. There's somebody turned off the ignition to pump the cars. And there we see Ray Marciano. He just stepped in and out of your screen on the right-hand side. So he kind of does everything. He puts out fires. He starts the Demolition Derby and keeps everybody under control. And the day is over for this young man, as it is for several people in this Demolition Derby. Right now, let's go to our pit reporter, Marty Reid. He has more information for us.
With me is one of the few women who drive in this sport. Marie, while the action gets ready to finish up here, what knocked you out?
I guess just a hit. I don't know. The car stalled. I couldn't get it started again.
Why do you want to do this?
It's fun. It's crazy, but I like it.
You like beating the boys?
Yeah.
Better luck next time.
Thank you.
Well, that's interesting. She does it because she likes it. I got to hand it to her. It's a tough sport to take a lot of a neck hurt, I would think, with all the whiplash that goes on. All right, there we see the number 3 car is getting started. There's one that's still alive. That is Dean Scavelli.
Doing a fine job. But you can see he's done some hitting. You can tell, Leandra, by the rear end that gentleman has been working. And John Consanti in car number 88 with the station wagon, with still a lot more battering ram power, if you will, towards the back of his car. It's got to be the hands-on favorite right now for that very reason.
And as I look around the infield, that's it. We only have 2 cars that are still alive in this heat, and if I was a betting woman, I'd pick number 88, simply because car number 3 looks to be in pretty sorry condition.
And I'd have to say something about Marie Cogan, who we saw with Marty just a few minutes ago. Has to be the prettiest Demolition Derby driver I've ever seen. Well, Dean Chiavelli is in some serious trouble here, Leandra. His car not moving. Pensante still has plenty of power left, and I think that Dean Chiavelli could be in big trouble here. John Pensante from Brentwood, Long Island, continues to roll around.
He's looking to make sure that Chiavelli is really out of it. He has to keep hitting as long as there's somebody moving. I believe they're counting him down, telling him that it's over. Nope, they haven't given him the checkered flag.
Oh, Chiavelli moves.
He actually helped him to move.
Yes, the hit that Pensante applied upon Chiavelli helped him. And another car starting up that station wagon, but he has been out of it too long. The yellow station wagon, unless he was just moving because Chiavelli ran into him. I think that may have been the case. Look out, Ray Marciano.
What happened with Chiavelli is he lost reverse. He couldn't back up, and because he was nosed into that car, look at Marciano running. Because he couldn't back up, he had to go forward.
That's absolutely the case right now. And again, Pensante trying to pin Chiavelli in. He may have sensed that he did not have a reverse, although now Chiavelli able to back his car up, and there's that station wagon, car number 88.
Oh, that car looks sorry. Look at this.
That front end is not going to move.
This may be it.
I think that may have done it.
Steam's pouring out now of the radiator. Just a matter of time.
One more time.
Good night.
Polishing touch, if you will.
I don't know if I'd use the word polishing, but it certainly was a touch.
The finishing touch, yes. Of course, if you're looking for a car, Leandra, I know where you can get several very cheap here this afternoon.
Right. And I think they're counting him down. They're going to declare John Pensante the winner, and he gets the checkered flag in this elimination heat number 2 as we prepare for the championship final of this Demolition Derby. John Pensante wins it by crushing everybody else in the competition. He finishes with a flat tire at that, but he's a happy man. Glad to make it into the finals. And our winner, as we said, is Consani. Dean Scambelli finished second. As a judge's choice, Don Daring is the fan's choice. We'll be back in just a moment. Folks, our final heat of qualifying for this Demolition Derby World Championship. The top 3 drivers here will get into the final, and then that's it. Right now, though, let's go to our own Marty Reid, who's in the pits. He's standing by with the driver that we thought you'd like to hear from.
Before every race, there's strategy, but I got to tell you, Gene Vellante, this looks like it's just a matter of survival.
That's about right. I'm scared to death.
You really get the butterflies before this?
Yeah.
Will you try to sort of lay back and hold off the pace, or will you just have to get out there and mix it up? I know there's the 30-second rule.
Well, I'm going to try my best. You know, I don't want to get put out right away.
I want to know that you got your sponsor's name on the back here. How long do you think people are going to be able to read it?
I hope till the end of the race so he can see it on TV.
All right, Gene Vellante, I admire your honesty. Not too many guys would admit that they're scared to death and they have butterflies. I would be, too, if I knew I was heading for a T-bone crash.
This gentleman not having an easy time of it. Look at the front wheels on that automobile. Totally
already
worn
mangled
out. Don Cordell. Something very obviously wrong with the front end, maybe a tie rod, A-frame, something. Oh, yeah.
I think all this guy can do is run in circles. He's got no control over that vehicle whatsoever. He just has to hope that he hits somebody.
Don't think he's going to last too long, but, you know, more unusual things have happened in a demolition derby.
They're counting him down for the start, and here we go.
Had a car move off the wall early, and I don't think our starter here saw him coming, so...
It didn't matter. He missed everybody he was aiming for. Ooh, we got someone there.
Some early action going on.
It's interesting.
Car number 92, by the way, Leandra, in this heat. Another female, Sherry Kavanaugh, car number 92. We'll have to keep our eyes on her.
Well, here we go with our wheel problems again now.
James Nordhausen in car number 87 having a problem. He has more problems compounded to that with a front-end hit by another competitor.
Here we have a spin out.
Very hard hit right there. Action taking place all over the racetrack right now. Imagine the cleanup crew having to clean up this racetrack after everything's done, too.
Well, I'll tell you, that brings up a good point. What do they do with all of these cars that are smashed in the infield here? There's a pile up from 2 heats.
Well, there'll be some 100-plus cars left over on the infield after all is said and done. And what happens then is one of the local scrap dealers here on Long Island comes in with 2 to 3 big tractor-trailers, a forklift, and just piles them on and keeps making trips back to his yard, which is about 20 miles from the raceway here. So it's going to be a long night for those gentlemen to get all those junk cars out of here that they'll have to shred up tomorrow.
All right, 31 cars in this 3rd heat. Already we've seen quite a few fizzle away. Now, would you say this event is growing in popularity? Are you seeing more and more people trying to enter the Demolition Derby every year?
Demolition Derbies have always been very popular in the 60s and the 70s, and for a little while it looked like their popularity might fade off in the early 1980s, but it has rekindled. The flame has been rekindled here at Riverhead. We have Demolition Derbies every so often during the season, and the entries have been getting larger and larger just for the regular demos. This one, over 100 cars will be smashed here today, as I mentioned earlier.
Ouch, here comes one right now.
I felt that one.
Ooh.
Good camera work there. Put you right in the automobile.
And the crashes, whiplash, and carnage continues here at Riverhead. Stay with us. There will be a survivor in just a moment.
And pulls you through. It pulls you through.
We're down to about 10, 12 cars left in this 3rd heat, qualifying for the finals. And Bob, you brought up an interesting point. You said this was a popular event, Demolition Derby, in the 60s and 70s. How do the cars compare, the cars of the 80s to the cars of the 60s and 70s, in terms of being able to take a blow?
Well, with Detroit trying to downsize all the automobiles that you and I drive on the highway, it's getting increasingly harder and harder for these Demolition Derby demons to find automobiles to smash and crash, big old station wagons and heavy passenger automobiles, which they really prefer in this event. A little carburetor fire quickly extinguished by our track crew here at Riverhead. They've got things under control, and we didn't even have to throw a red flag. But it is getting harder and harder for these guys and gals, as our gal Sherry Kavanaugh is still in action here, to find the automobiles to smash and crash. You obviously want a heavier car, and as Detroit downsizes, it's harder to find those type cars. Some real good action here in the third heat event.
He's still going.
There's nothing left in the back section of that automobile, folks, and he continues to run. Maybe persistency will pay off for him. Maybe he'll get into the World Demolition Derby final. Station wagon here. Lost the right rear tire, Leandra.
These windshield wipers, I'm just amazed at that. Oh, gee, that's a good thing.
And he saw his head go back.
A little carburetor fire flashed there.
Yep, I think that may have been it for that gentleman, but a game opponent he was. Watch this. Watch his head go back with the impact. His whole body will move quickly.
I don't think he saw it coming.
Oh,
ooh,
man.
with the smoke screen he had, I don't think he meant to do that. He's certainly sorry if he did.
Jim Rennick, car number 7, he continues to limp around the track now.
One flat. Ooh, ooh.
Wow. Boy, did he really lay it on that one.
And head-on collisions are not intentional because you want to protect that radiator. I don't think those two meant to do that either.
Well, 197 was Jim Donaldson, and he was doing a fine job until he got that head-on collision with Jim Rennick.
Then you saw Gary Hansen come in the 28 car. You just saw him get crunched.
Gary could have himself a problem right now.
He's still alive.
Number 52, Michael Russell, still in there. There's Jimmy Donaldson, car number 197. He's no worse of a wear, but his automobile is.
Oh, boy.
There's nothing left in the back. Car number 52 right here.
As he hits Gary Hansen. That may be what Gary Hansen needed. He was stuck. And
could have been. Michael Russell in car number 52 may have helped out Gary Hansen in that black and day-glow orange numbered machine. And there goes Gary Hansen. That's exactly what transpires here. Now Hansen lines up Russell. This could be the final crunching blow, although there's not much left in the way of a back section of Hansen's car or power. But he still is moving.
he's waiting to see if he has to. Officials are checking out Russell's car to see if he's still alive. They're giving him a few seconds to start up. The countdown has started. And he takes the count. They consider him out, so Gary Hansen is the winner. He will go into the finals as the sole survivor of heat number 3. Now, Gary Hansen has the choice to take this car into the final or get one from the track. And if I was him, I think I'd take one from the track. This machine looks pretty beat up.
Well, that back section doesn't look like it could go too much more, so the cars that the track supplies to the finalists must be the way to go for Gary Hansen.
And as you can see, he is the winner. Michael Russell and Jim Rennick finishing third. All right, let's go to Marty Reid, who has our winner right next to him.
We're down here with Gary Hansen, and Gary, the smoke is yet to clear. You took a heck of a shot right before the end there. In fact, I saw you reaching for your neck.
Well, I jammed it into neutral. If I see him coming, I try to get into neutral so the transmission rolls, so I can roll with the hit more or less. Instead of if it's in park, I'm going to get more of a jolt, so I put it into neutral and slide a little.
But it still looked like you took a jolt.
Yeah, I took a jolt. It was all right. I got the helmet.
Yeah, but you won, and that's what's important.
That's what's important. Yeah, on to the finals.
On to the finals.
I think I'll use the same car. It still seems to be doing pretty good.
You think you can get that back into shape? I mean, it looks like the rear end is about falling off.
Well, the ones they give you here, I like mine better. I think I'll have a good chance with it.
All right, he's into the finals, and he's going to use his own car.
If it starts.
I don't believe that. He's going to drive the number 28 car. Folks, you got to stick around. Will car number 28 start? Will Gary Hansen win? No. For the final of this championship Demolition Derby, Marty Reid is standing by with one of the drivers who's a favorite to win this event.
They call him the Mad Hatter. In 1983, Tom Kilkenny won the World Championship, and Tom going for number 2.
Yeah, that's my dream. I was lucky enough to get it once, and you know, this is like the Indy 500. The demo drivers here, we love this, you know, and everybody really goes gung-ho for the championship.
It looks like there's so much luck involved, but what is it that makes you a consistent winner?
Well, I do a lot of work on my cars. I put 30, 40 hours worth of work into each car. I really go long extents. I put a lot of extensive work, and I try to protect my nose when I'm out there. That's like a key thing to do in the demo.
What about other strategies? As far as hitting people, you can put yourself out with a wrong hit.
Oh, that's for sure. Well, one of the things is that I'm an auto wrecker, so I know cars pretty well, and I'm through demos over 15 years, I've learned where cars will fold and where they won't, so you can make a strategic hit and get something out of it.
I guarantee you Tom Kilkenny will be doing some auto wrecking here in the final.
Tom Kilkenny, he's a real professional. He's an auto wrecker as we look at Long John Silver.
I don't know if that passenger volunteered for the ride, Leandra. That could be an unwilling victim.
I like the welcome ESPN sign on the back of that car.
I don't think it's going to last too long, however. Long John, one of the crowd favorites here at Riverhead on a weekly basis, also competes in something they call a rollover contest. We're underway, Leandra. In just a little while, we'll have a 1985 World Demolition Derby champion.
And the rust pile in the infield has grown, and it's created a visual obstacle for the drivers to see around to the other side of the track. Right now, the cars are just spinning, looking for somebody to contact. They have to do it every 60 seconds, remember. And Long John Silver gets a love tap, nothing major.
It's almost like the beginning of a boxing match where two fighters come out answering the round one bell and just kind of feel each other out. That's what's happening here right now. There's the Mad Hatter, the guy that just spoke with Marty Reid a few minutes ago.
The auto wrecker, Tom Kilkenny.
Yeah, he is definitely going to wreck some automobiles here. Hopefully not his own. Big hit there by Long John Silver.
A little bit of a jam.
Mad Hatter caught up in it, as well as the 088 Peter Bertuccio. Bulldog Brower, 686, also involved. You have the cream of the crop as far as Demolition Derby drivers go right here. So this one could last for a while as Peter Bertuccio lining somebody up.
Ooh, I heard that shatter. That was tough. That hurt. Jerry Hansen did get his car started, we should add, but not looking too good. I want to ask you a question, though, Bob Finan. Is this event popular anywhere else besides the United States?
They have a few of these up in Canada. I understand that one or two were held in Mexico, but it didn't really go over as well as it did in Canada. Many of the racetracks, and there are plenty of racetracks in Canada, hold these type of events, but they are very popular here in the United States. Some of the racetracks, the Riverside Park Speedway in Massachusetts, the Seekonk Speedway, and many county fairs. You'll see this at many county fairs. In fact, Tom Kilkenny just won one recently this summer at the Orange County Fair in Middletown, New York.
This is Peter Bertuccio spinning around, inflicting damage, and there we see
Scott McNamee.
Real mangled automobile.
There's Gary Hansen. And
it's Hansen.
I have to disagree with his strategy, Leandra, in using his same car for the final. I think he should have went for one of the track-supplied automobiles for the final.
I think that was just the fatal blow that we witnessed right there. His tires were getting locked up in that French frame on the back end, and that put him out of commission.
Scott McNamee, car number 313. You see the back of that station wagon arched, so Scott has been busy at work.
And Peter Bertuccio is lucky. Most of the damage inflicted to his car has been glancing blows.
The Bulldog's still involved, and there's that passenger holding on for dear life on top of Long John Silver's car.
Some of the cars are strapped into their vehicles. That's cute. And he's chasing, but not catching anyone.
Scott McNamee again hooked up with somebody. There's Bob Finan, car number 14, the Bumblebee.
And it seems with only 18 cars out here, it's almost harder to catch somebody.
Well, that's half the situation right now as far as playing possum is concerned.
All right, we had 30 cars in the qualifiers, but only 18 in the finals, but only a few are left. Stay with us to see who wins. In the final moments of this Demolition Derby Championship final, the survivor of this collision will win the money, $1,500. And I like the way the program states the Demolition Derby. It stated that Demolition Derby is designed and promoted as an unusual spectator attraction. And I don't think I could have described it any better.
Long John Silver having a problem right now with that front bumper, but it acted as a spear there.
Yes.
John didn't plan that, but it worked out for the better for him. So.
Although it's locking up his right front wheel there.
That won't stop Long John Silver.
Just shift to reverse.
The welcome ESPN sign is still pretty much intact. Surprising. He and the Mad Hatter getting together here at the start-finish line.
He's tangled up with somebody else now.
Car number 17, Frank Phillips, the Ripper, still involved.
And Peter Petruccio still involved.
Scattered action around the racetrack.
Mostly wagons still alive. We've pretty much seen that throughout the afternoon. The station wagons dominate.
Car number 1 still involved, Gravel Buska. He's up there in the second turn area, being pursued by Tom Kilkenny, whose top hat, we might add, is still firmly in place on top of the car, as is Long John Silver's passenger.
Barely. I think that passenger's seen better days. Look at that left front tire now.
The left front wheel is in very sorry shape.
Here comes the T-bone. Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
The tires come off the rim on Long John's car now. It's going to be hard for him to get around the track.
But he's still trying.
He never gives up. Getting close to crowning a 1985 champion.
All right, Bob Finan, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think looks the healthiest out here?
There are a couple cars that still look very good. Going by a couple of guys who I know happen to be veterans, I have to say Peter Petruccio still looking very good. Long John Silver is doing very well right now. Tom Kilkenny, you can't count him out. So those 3 drivers and maybe 1 or 2 others still have a good chance, but time is winding down.
Oh, Long John Silver, I think your miles are numbered.
I think so. The left rear tire is absolutely off the rim, but Long John says that's not going to stop me. Gravel Buska in there, car number 1.
Taking advantage of a lockup. You know what I find interesting to watch about this event is how well a mangled car can drive. I'm amazed that Long John Silver's car is still moving, because if I saw that car sitting on the street, I would say that car can't even move. Yet it continues on. Mad Hatter searching for someone to inflict damage upon. And
I think Long John is just about had it. The rim spinning on the asphalt surface, throwing up a shower of sparks, and I think that might end his day. I think the passenger is very happy about the turn of events here. That might get him a breather.
Over. Yes.
Tom Kilkenny. Peter Petruccio coming together.
Trying to come in. And that's Petruccio getting it. And Petruccio getting it again.
That's on Gravel Buska inflicting the hit.
Down to about 4 cars now. Buska again. He's aiming for, just getting in position.
It's also going around the track, which is going to build up some speed for him coming off the banking there. He was looking for Kilkenny, but Kilkenny ducked amongst the carnage here. Kilkenny station wagon now starting to show the signs of a long day of work here on the Demolition Derby battlefield.
But his front end is very much intact. And remember, he's our auto wrecker, and he said he knows where to place the crucial blows.
Well, that's why Tom won the 1983 title and why he is among the favorites to repeat here in 85. So
Petruccio looks very good, though, number 88.
He's doing a fine job.
Oh!
Front end hit by 2 veterans. Very unusual to see those gentlemen do that.
I did a little more of a side slope front end hit. It wasn't really a good smashing hit on him. Here we go again.
Not too much there. I think we're down to about 3, maybe 4 cars available for the title here.
They are Tom Kilkenny in car number 18, Peter Petruccio in car number 88, and I think we're down to 3, number 17, Frank Phillips. Still coasting around.
And I think that Phillips and Petruccio may be hooked up now. This could be a problem for both of them. Kilkenny gives Petruccio a shot, maybe trying to get them apart. Frank Phillips, car number 17, the Ripper. Don't know.
And then they have to drive in tandem. One shift to reverse, the other one to drive, and here comes a T-bone.
Kilkenny hitting with the front end, but not that hard where it's going to do any damage. Remember the piece that Marty Reid did earlier about the fan being out of the car. Tom, knowing that, can utilize the front end a little bit, but I'm sure he wouldn't want to do that too many times.
Now he's got some real problems. His right front is flat, and looks like his left rear is a little wobbly.
Phillips, Petruccio continue to be hooked up. Tom Kilkenny's wife out there. I think she should be that close to the racetrack right now.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous. He's giving a thumbs up. He says, what do? I can't hit him. They're locked into each other. He wants some instructions from Raymond Toronto, the starter.
Since this is the World Championship, we are giving those two drivers ample amount of time to get unhooked.
And I don't think they can do it.
I don't know.
Unless Kilkenny gets over there and really smacks into him to jostle him loose, I think this race is his.
I think so.
We're waiting for the award here. Congratulations to him are awarded. His hands are out. It's Kilkenny.
Yes,
it is
indeed.
Tom Kilkenny. He is our winner. And he's a happy man, as happy as his wife as he smacks into the wall. So I think our Marty Reid is working his way down there. As soon as he gets there, we'll let you hear from our exuberant 85 world champion.
Nothing better than 1 and 2.
We have some trouble here. Evidently, Kilkenny's being chastised by some of the other drivers for not causing enough contact.
I believe Peter Petruccio is one of the drivers involved.
As you can see, they take their Demolition Derby very seriously here. Tom Kilkenny, a lot of people think that you were avoiding contact out there, but you're declared the winner.
Well, I didn't avoid any contact. What people are mad at is that they feel that I was picking on Pete a little bit, but Pete had 3 other guys out there that were pummeling me right from the start. So it was more of a vendetta thing. You know, like he came at me and was trying to take me out. So I put my heart into taking them out. And some people just can't go for that, you know.
Well, I know one thing. I don't know how that hat stayed on top of the car the entire race.
Well, like I said, a lot of work. I put a lot of work into my cars. I put a lot of work into my driving. I work hard at it. And to me, this is like winning the Indy 500. Like I said before, this is everything, you know. I put this is my whole life here. I love this.
Well, you're 1985 world champion, 2-time champion now. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So Tom Kilkenny is our winner, despite a little bit of pushing and shoving with fists, as well as with the automobiles. He is declared the winner, and he takes home $1,500. We'll be back with a recap in just a moment. We have over 100 wrecked automobiles here at the infield at Riverhead Raceway, and I'm glad I'm not part of the cleanup crew. Marty Reid is standing by to fill us in.
In every other form of motorsports, you try and avoid the collisions. As we found out today in Demolition Derby, they try for the collisions, and it is a very serious business, as you found out at the end of this event. Our world championship goes to Tom Kilkenny. I don't know about you, Leandra. I've been trying to avoid all the collisions both in the pits and on the track.
Thank you, Marty Reid. You certainly did have a very dangerous job, and so did our starter, Raymond Toronto. Not only did he have to start the cars and make sure everybody obeyed the rules and played a safe game, he also had to put out fires, so he really wore 2 hats today. But let's get back to Demolition Derby competition. It was a controversial finish.
Absolutely, Leandra. The gentleman who finished second in the Demolition Derby, Peter Petruccio, kind of thought that maybe the winner, Tom Kilkenny, had somebody out there helping him along, sort of like a little bit of teamwork in the person of Frank Phillips. They yelled at each other a little bit, traded some verbal jabs, but after it was all done and said, they started to cool down. They shook hands, and I bet they have a beer before the night's over together and talk as they usually do in a friendly manner.
All right, with $1,500 in his pocket, Tom Kilkenny is going to probably buy that beer. He is the 1985 World Demolition Derby champion at Riverhead Raceway in New York. For Marty Reid, Bob Finan, I'm Leandra Reilly. So long, everyone.